My name is Eugenia Durin, nee Klein Thomas, ninth decade. One of the things that I liked about the Methodist Girls High School was our principal, Mrs. Fashu Collier. It will take superlatives to describe the difference that Mrs. Collier made in the lives of many, just from speaking to some of my colleagues. From my own personal experience, Mrs. Collier was the consummate professional, and beyond her passion for education, a disciplinarian with empathy. She knew her students, and she knew them well. I will never forget the day that she singled me out by name when I was somewhere I had no business or should not have been. What she said to me left an indelible impact. I will end with paraphrasing words from Kemal Atatürk, which is, a good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. And Henry Pikes, paraphrasing him, what one does for themselves alone dies with them. What Fashu Collier did for her students and the world remains. It will never be lost and is immortal. Thank you, Mrs. Fashu Collier, a woman worth emulating.
Hi everybody, my name is Francetta Strasser-King and I am a product of the Methodist Girls High School. I attended the school between 1984 and 1989. And I say I am a product because that is exactly what we were. We were actually raw materials that actually entered into Form 1, we got processed, and we were spat out again after Form 5 as women that could hold their heads up in society. I want to thank the school for giving me that legacy. My tribute today is to an amazing teacher that had an impact in my life, and that is Mrs. Ayodele Gilpin-Jackson. Mrs. Gilpin-Jackson, I want to thank you for investing in me. I want to thank you for taking time to teach me, to understand that every student had a different learning style and going above and beyond to cater to my learning style. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. My first day in Form 1 geography class, Mrs. Gilpin-Jackson asked the entire class to draw a map of Africa. When I finished drawing my map, she looked at the map, she looked at me, and she says, "Is this the best you can do?" And I said, "Yes." Drawing was never something I was going to be good at. And she told me at that point in time that, well, don't worry about it. Make sure you label your maps properly because you're never going to come back with a grade 1 when you take your GCE. And that was actually the case. When I took my GCE O-level exams, I got a 2 because I could label like a dream. But as far as the drawing part, my map always looked like the ear of a rodent. I want to thank her for that investment. She recognized my strengths and my weaknesses, and she catered to what I was good at. Other teachers that I had did not actually practice that learning style, and I found it very difficult to actually get a full grasp of any subject because my mentality is that I have to be able to break something apart, fix it again to be able to roll with that knowledge. I want to also thank you for being a mentor. You encourage my love for reading. You encourage my love for discovering new places and new cultures through books, and for that I couldn't definitely not even tell you how much grateful I am for that. God bless you, God keep you. Thank you for the difference you have made in the lives of your students, and I pray that God continues to give you good health so that way you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Thank you, Mrs. Gilpin-Jackson.
My name is Georgiana Vingura, 10th decade. And the reason why I would go back in time to attend the MGHS again, it's simply because of its high educational background, and also it is a school that has high discipline for girls.
Hello, my name is Hulda Hunter, nee during 9th decade. My favorite subject was French, and my favorite teacher at the Methodist Girls High School was Madame Pamela Grant. I still remember her walking into the classroom looking very elegant and saying, "Bonjour mes élèves, quelle est la date aujourd'hui?" Because of Mrs. Grant, I enjoyed learning French, for which I received prizes during our annual prize-giving ceremonies. I was able to read and write French by the end of high school, and that enabled me to earn credits and advanced placement in French during my undergrad and graduate studies at the George Washington University. Thank you, Madam Grant, and may her soul rest in perfect peace. My gratitude also goes to our esteemed and elegant principal, Mrs. Fashukolia, for selecting world-class teachers who prepared us for higher education and careers worldwide. My sincere thanks to Mrs. Collier and all my teachers. I tip my hat to them for making MGHS the best of the best. Bravo, MGHS. Bravo.
To God be the glory. I am amazed at how God directed my path when Mrs. Fashukolia, principal, and Miss Nancy Thomas, vice principal, opened the door of opportunity for me to attend the Methodist Girls High School. One Saturday morning during the first term at MGHS, I saw Mrs. Collier shopping at the vegetable stands in front of Choitham's supermarket at Cootanwood. I was so excited and with shaking limbs went up and greeted her. Oh my, she smiled back at me. It was a very pleasant feeling. As I progressed at MGHS, I came to realize that it's better to receive a smile from Mrs. Collier than a stern look. Mrs. Collier no dey beat o, na look no more dey look. You go shake like a leaf. I also have sweet memories of being with the Scripture Union group. One long holiday, as we call the period of break, at the end of an academic year before the next, our school chaplain and Bible knowledge teacher, Mrs. Alma Kanu, visited the homes of members of the Scripture Union group. Mrs. Kanu made a visit to my home and met with my family and I. It's hard to put into words to describe how I felt for a teacher to visit my home. And it's not because of a bad behavior or anything negative. I am grateful for devotion to duty of all MGHS staff. Even Mr. Kelfar, the janitor, took his work very seriously. I was blessed with fellow students I met throughout my MGHS school days, and I'm still in close relationship with some of them to this day. I'm also fortunate to reside close to one of our devoted teachers, Reverend Mrs. Betty King, nee Thomas. To God be the glory.
First of all, let me apologize for being in green. It was not intentional. I would just like to say that I am so thankful that I was a student at the Methodist Girls High School. I would not change a thing about it. If I had to do it all over again, it still would be my choice of a high school education. I believe I received a first-class high school education, even though I didn't always show it as a student. I am sure that those of you who knew me as a high school student, particularly in the earlier years, and my teachers would be very amazed that I would even dare to enter the world of education. But because of my foundation that I received at the Methodist Girls High School, it enabled me to be a disciplined student here in the U.S. in college. I amazed myself, but I believe that it was because my foundation was strong and I was able to be successful as a college student and as well as in my career as an assistant principal of a high school now. I never thought that was possible if I were to judge by my report cards and not doing as well as I wanted to on the GCE exams at the time. But the discipline that was instilled in us, the love for learning, the value of it, all came together for me here in the U.S. And my hats off to the Methodist Girls High School, because I know that I am who I am today because of the foundation that I received. So shout out to all my teachers, Mrs. Gage, Mrs. Goodwin Jackson, Mrs. Betty King. Thank you so much for your love and your push and challenging me.
I love my alma mater, the Methodist Girls High School. It is the epitome of all schools in Freetown, Sierra Leone. And I'm proud, always proud to be an alumna of that school. I enjoyed singing. That's why I was able to sing today. And the reason why is because I was inspired by my music teacher, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, he will teach us a whole lot of beautiful songs. And it inspired me. We didn't have anything much to do, no other curriculum, after school curriculum. So that was like a break for me from hitting the books. So Mr. Wright was my best teacher. And Methodist Girls High School is the best school and the most beautiful school that I've ever seen in Sierra Leone. So I would never have made any choice but to attend the Methodist Girls High School. Floyd's.
The annual speech day and prize giving awards was for me one that always made me proud to have been an alumna of the Methodist Girls High School. It was the one thing that spurred me to work very hard so that my name would be called for prizes the following year. That's prize giving. It brought the best out of our class because we were very competitive. I am grateful for the encouragement that I got from teachers, as in the presence of my parents and other parents. When my name was called, I was always up there. I can look back on it and say that pride instilled in me came from the words of our school motto, honor before honors. I had the privilege of being guest speaker and present prizes on one of my home leaves. And I am grateful for the memories I still hold till today. Long live the Methodist Girls High School. Long live education for women in Sierra Leone and in the world. Happy celebrations every